Welcome to Battlefield Appalachia, PA Dems Rural Caucus Division. I'm Jillian,
I'm Lindsay.
and we're here to talk about the myths and realities of living and organizing in rural Pennsylvania and give you all the tea on why it's more progressive than you think. Um,
A lot
so
more.
a lot more. It's our first episode. Um,
So bear with me more specifically. Jillian is way more professional than I am at
This
this.
is, I feel that this is my third podcast, so I feel like that's an official podcast universe. So you can enjoy the Jillian Kratzer podcast universe if you so choose. Uh, you might know me from Sisters of the Night Caucus, or because you're on state committee, or because I'm around. And listen, if you're a Northwest person, you better know about Lindsay because she be out there.
I'm out there. I'm out there a little bit
Yeah.
extra.
Hmm.
Sometimes our enemies like me to put me out there more
Yep.
so, actually.
Hmm.
Um, they like to trade, fun fact, they like to trade my reputation and what I do on the
Hmm.
progressive side and on Dem side for clicks to get paid.
Nice.
Because I'm a good foil, so fuck them.
We all do our part.
We do.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, so I for these purposes am the chair of the Rural Caucus of the PA Dems. Lindsay's my secretary.
I am the secretary. I am the
Hmm.
not great at minutes, but great at communicating. Um,
Yes.
like I free type the minutes all the time, and in the minute I have to start handwriting them and then transcribing them later.
Hmm.
They end up in a notebook, and that sucks. Which is why I like to share the damn minutes when I'm typing them, and I'm
Yes.
transcribing them in the moment, which works. Like every secretary should do that because
Yes, no,
then
absolutely.
it's the best way to do it. And so in person, it's actually harder. So that's just like a little note on if you're ever wanting to
Yeah.
hit the role of secretary. It's both
Hmm.
communicating and taking that diction.
Hmm. Yeah, just like bring your laptop with you everywhere that you go. Um, so yeah, that is the short version of who we are. Why are we doing this, Lindsay? Why are we here?
We want to literally tell everybody who is interested in politics in the grassroots
Hmm.
level, but also people who are in the politics with us, um, some of the reasons why we do what we do, the way that we describe things to other people, things and messages that are hitting in our home counties that might not hit at the state level,
Hmm.
but also talk about the issues and, frankly, the cultural issues and the cultural fun
Hmm.
shit that get missed. And not every weekend has a state committee, and not the whole world gets to go to state committee.
Hmm.
And there's plenty of times that we'd like to communicate if people want to opt in to listen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. The Rural Caucus, by the way, you don't have to be on state committee to get involved. We love an associate member. And so we'll absolutely you will know how to do that at the end of this episode. Um, what you can expect from us is that we're two women in our I can't remember, Lindsay. Are you 40 or 40s?
Um, I'm not sure. What?
I'm definitively in my 40s. I'm gonna be
Oh yeah,
45 and yeah,
yeah, so I'm
in May.
42, but my
Yeah.
maturity level is roughly 24.
Yes, that
So
tracks. Yeah.
yeah, and
We
also
both have
skincare and being a
ADHD really
non-smoker.
hard.
Yeah, so hard, so
So
hard.
hard.
And so if you catch our attention or our
Yeah,
anger and our rage, you're gonna get probably all of those things like in a clump at you
yeah,
specifically. And
that's
that's
true.
not advisable, but also if you are
Mm.
low key an issue that we discover, you might be our new pet though. Like to
That's true.
be a problem. We escalate problems that go
Hmm.
unrecognized, and we're gonna be like, oh, what is that? No, no, we're not doing that. And so a non-issue
Yeah.
becomes everyone's problem. And we're really good at making something everyone's problem.
Yeah. Which, yeah, no, I mean, like, I think, yeah, that's like my history of being an involved Democrat on like the state level and from a rural county, which Blair County is and I tell county chairs this all the time in rural areas, just be the squeakiest wheel. I mean, that's not the only thing.
Right, because you
Um,
can be a squeaky wheel and you have an issue that is totally just on you, and
yeah.
it's not, we're not gonna, it's got to hit a priority.
Yeah, I suppose it's really equal parts being a squeakiest wheel and then also being helpful and reliable.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
they offset each other and help. But yeah, we're both a lot, so get ready for that. Um,
Filters aren't the
and
greatest for us either.
we're not fantastic with filters. But we love to talk about everything.
Yep,
So that's kind of what you can expect from us. And when we talked about like what are we going to do on the pod, one of the things that we talked a little bit about was like not just talking about politics but talking about culture, although like be real, we can relate anything back to politics.
we can.
um it's not even 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's like one degree, right back.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and everything I think maybe even on the intake, like when I'm
Hmm.
looking at culture, my intake is I'm intaking it in the lens initially of politics. So
Hmm.
a lot of times when I'm like taking some shit in, I'm like, ew, that's gross. Hold up.
Hmm.
And so it's
Yeah.
earmarked even. Like, and a lot of people don't realize like once you're looking at it in this lens, it just becomes automatic. So we will relay all kinds of beautiful hot takes right
Yeah.
into the political lens.
Oh my God, absolutely. um but which also like frankly like right now everything is so saturated with the horrors around us.
Yeah. Everything is so bad
Mm.
that,
Um, yeah,
yeah, beautifully bad. It's almost catastrophic. It is catastrophic, actually.
it is. Like I just like I thought I was losing my mind the other day. So I don't remember. It was before, right? Not long before for our last state committee, which it was the first weekend in February, was the most recent Epstein files drop, right? And the number of things that we discovered that Jeffrey Epstein is basically behind or connected to is I I don't even know how to.
Well, and so this is where I think it's a kind of an interesting thing for
Hmm.
you and I to segue into because like so when I went to school was for intelligence studies, even though
Yeah.
that is not when I got out of school, like we were downgrading out of two wars and I had multiple sclerosis and I'm a veteran and I was getting out of
Hmm.
the military. So like my job prospect in my degree was zero upon zero upon zero. So now I
Yeah.
work in like a human services field, but you don't lose your training.
Right.
And the minute that that web that is woven, um, came apparent, I'm like, it's a giant blackmail op. He
Yeah.
put rich people together to have them in position to be blackmailed and then sold secrets, deciding on what he wanted and who his buddies were, just explicitly to keep himself away from being, for one, taken down,
Hmm.
but also, frankly, to be in a position to be useful by many foreign governments, not just ours.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was, a a dark BDSM and worse type person himself,
Yeah. Slash
that's a
pedophile
game he played.
because
That's a game. Yeah, it was a game he played. He's like, I'm going to be charming. I'm going to be this guy, and I'm going to invite these rich fuckers here, and I'm going to let them walk themselves into blackmail territory and keep it forever.
And
And
yeah, it just
that's
it
that's the
is
broad.
psychotic. Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
and the thing that makes it wild now, right, is just like if you like walked back in time a decade and told almost anyone any of the things that we now know to be true,
Mhm.
they would have been like, you should be institutionalized because that
Sure.
sounds crazy.
One of the
You
main
know,
things that they tell us in Intel actually is like
mhm,
when they were training us in college,
mhm,
it was like the easiest way to flip someone is via blackmail. The easiest person to make keep your secrets is something you have something on, and their personal money and their personal reputation on the line, they will be quiet for everything. And 60% of the time, you have very few people that are willing to spy or give information
mhm,
um, because they want to. Most
right,
of it is because they are forced to, because you have information that you can give to other people about them. And that is why people flip, or that is why people do what they do. And so for us to know like this many billionaires and bro oligarchs and whatnot were involved, all they had to do, frankly, was be put in a room and then be blackmailed into complicitness, whether or not they did something at any event that caused like that was a felony. But
mhm,
now they are prescribed to help or be part of a cover up that covers up for
yeah,
much worse. And that is, I think, a lot of things that people like in the general public do not understand. But the fact that Jeffrey Epstein very much knew easily and he
mhm,
used it at, as a personal profiteer of
yeah.
getting rich people to do dark, deep shit.
And then just like, and then multiple governments just like covered up for him.
Yeah, because they couldn't lose face of the exposure.
Right.
And anybody, so you just can't put yourself. That's one of the things they teach you if you want a
Yeah.
job in Intel is like you can't have, for instance, debt, like, or you will
Right.
not be hired to upper level positions. You cannot have like this many people that are of this type as friends or close friends. They vet them
Mhm.
too, and like there's a whole level of vetting. But people that miss the vetting for background is
Mhm.
actually politicians. Politicians are elected.
Yeah.
Bureaucrats are hired by the government, so politicians miss the whole checklist of shit that
Yeah.
if I were hired for a job, but no, they're
Mhm.
elected, so any Yahoo can have any background. And
Right.
yeah, if you invite them to a party where like science funders are going to be there and put under the guise of this is a dinner party for tech and science, and all of a sudden they're in a room. And then they might not have done anything, but they're in the emails. There you go.
Would that It's so funny that you say that because also like legitimately I know somebody who made out with somebody in the Jeffrey Epstein files. The person didn't do anything. It's just like incidental because there was like a company connection, right? Right. But like literally like investigating something to do with but it's just
Now that's the real set, like the six shades of Kevin Bacon right there is actually the
mhm.
Epstein files, because
Yeah.
that's how indiscriminate he was about inviting people of any kind of power to move an elbow touch with people of power. So
Right.
it just so happened that he had so many people doing dirty, terrible, horrible things. Um,
Yeah.
that once they were tainted, they were all like they protected their personal, professional reputations in
Mhm.
a way that was blackmail adjacent.
It's so like it's also very weird. And so like everything in this cultural moment is like the most bizarre thing to the extent and I just like so this is information about me. Um I learned at some point in my mental health journey that I needed um to have other things to think about besides directly politics. Um and also and to like rest my brain and stuff. I just like I've gotten to such a point that I'm like, it's oh, have you seen Heated Rivalry? No, I don't watch shows that are in English anymore. Like I just watch like Korean and Chinese dramas. Um because like I need to be taken so far out of my element that I'm on the other side of the earth.
So it might be you then that's creating because we're such close Facebook friends and like
Yeah.
whatever meta that like
Hmm.
I'm getting like algos for like literally like Asian drama
Oh
like
yeah, that's all
sent
my
to
fault. That's
me. Yeah,
100% my fault.
yeah. I mean,
Hmm. I
so
did
so like
that.
I'm like there's so many people though like the reason like I
Hmm.
sometimes have my personal page like
Yeah.
dampened and Facebook will send me like you because you are whatever.
Yeah.
I posted something that was hypocritically and also sarcastically potentially violent, but it wasn't.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're like, we're gonna limit your reach for 30 days. I'm like, it's because I'm friends with Janae. There's a woman named Janae, and she like has been blocked and banned by Facebook. Like, and I'm like, it's because her personal FBI investigator has decided to be an a-hole, and I am adjacent to her like that
Yeah.
closely that my shit is like literally dampened like extra. And also, I have a close association to a human services thing that
Right.
happens on the phone every Thursday.
Mm.
And every Thursday at 10 a.m., I start getting ads for like very cute, very expensive
Hmm.
drug paraphernalia
That's
because it's
so
a drug
weird.
issue with the
Right, right,
like
right,
when I
right,
talk on the phone. But like
right.
I'm getting like these cute monogrammed, customized Coke baggies that have no smell and like go and like and I'm like, I don't I don't
Are
do
you sure
cocaine.
it's not for weed? Is it for coke?
No,
That's crazy.
no, because it's like so these are like they're like you could put and in the ad it says electrolytes, your protein powder, because it's a
Uh-huh.
magnetic seal, and watch us put it in water and watch my dog ignore it. And I'm like,
It's
like, but seriously? Or like there's like a grinder for like the weed one where like
yeah.
they put goldfish, like the
Hmm.
snack cracker, and then they make it into a blunt. And I'm like, and it's an automatic blunt maker. And I'm like, what? I'm getting ads for these like back in the day. Do you remember Cruel Intentions #1 with the Coke
Yeah.
and the
Hmm.
yeah, the
Hmm.
necklace? And I'm getting
Yeah.
like these customizable like gold, like bitch, we know you're bougie and you like to spend money on
Right.
yourself. Come get these customizable drug paraphernalias. And I'm like listen, I don't do drugs, but also
Right.
my me back at the age of 22, I'd have been like buy, send to myself, like sup, because
Right.
the 22-year-old me is different than the current me. And I'm just
Sure.
like, but there it's so cute. I'm like, it's tempting just to own it. Like, and so but
Yeah.
I'm not, but I love the
No.
fact that it's every Thursday at 10 a.m. because my conversations and my meetings happen on Thursdays, and that
Yeah.
Meta's sending me targeted ads for like the cutest drug paraphernalia, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's yeah, man, it's a weird and just like a weird everything. I was recording First Sisters of the Night Caucus earlier today, and like there was a word that Katie was like, I'm not gonna say it because I don't want the algorithm to serve me more of this stuff, which is just so true. Now you can't fucking talk without the algorithm taking it in because well,
And
to be fair, like we all have kind of listening devices in our homes just
sure.
on purpose.
But they buy and sell so much of our data to these massive
Yeah, they
media
also buy and
marketers
sell a
that
lot of it.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. That's the
Hmm.
thing that a lot of people don't understand is like
Yeah.
the ads targeted to you have to do
Hmm.
with what you say when you're talking on your phone. When you're not talking on your phone, but you're near your microphone. Guess what? Still listening. Phone's
Yeah.
on, still listening.
Hmm.
Um, and so it might not be like, and that's how you know though, is like me getting these drug ads It's not directly listening, but it's earmarking certain things. And
Right.
that's what's really cultivating like so much of your feed.
Yeah.
And a lot
Again,
of people, but consumers don't know that. Like you don't understand. Like when you're su
right. Yes.
subscribing to or being a part of a free, especially device, they're making money off of you because of how much you surf.
Hmm.
Anything that you do lead links to,
Hmm.
any actions you take, and they're
Yeah.
selling your data because you're the
Y-
selling point.
You're the product.
You are. You are
Yeah,
literally the thing
you're the
that
product.
you signed up for free, but they're using you
Nothing
as
is
the
ever
product.
free. Hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's a randomly political thing that we just like went off tangent, got to.
Right.
One of the many.
One of the many. Oh God. So, petitions start this week.
Hmm.
Before we started recording, you were talking about getting those ready, which it is. I will again on your behalf now that we're recording, beg candidates and campaigns to please send county chairs a PDF of your thing, of your petition. Makes our lives intensely easier. But so I just, yesterday it sneaks up on me every time, which is a dumb thing because I do like multiple how to do petitions trainings
Yeah. You
every
co-host
year.
and host so many online too.
Yeah, and yet somehow it's still like somehow still on Friday I was down at the Blair Dems office and I got a call from one of my longtime committee members and she was like, "Can I pick up petitions?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Um and then I was having kind of a day, so like I fully forgot to get stuff printed out. So like I had to God love my secretary, the secretary or not the secretary, treasurer of my also my secretary of the Blair Dems. I love him too, but the treasurer of the Blair Dems is oh boy, could not live without. He always
Same.
does like 4 hours a week at the office on Saturdays. And so I texted him at like or I emailed him at like the very beginning of his office shift and I was like, "Hey, here are all these petitions. This person is coming. Can you please make sure they're printed out?" And
Thank God for
yeah.
secretaries. You've met my secretary 1,000 times
Yeah.
and Dan,
Hmm.
and like he has to deal with my bullshit all the time.
Mm.
And like I say to everyone who they're like, "You're so mean to him." I'm like, "I'm not mean. I'm treating him. I am horribly mean."
Hmm.
If you're taking it as like a like friendship, professional relationship,
Mm.
I'm probably intensely mean. But as
Yeah.
and he respects the fact that I have like a hive mind and he is an extension of that because he has fulfilled the
Yeah.
role of like word vomit to accept secretary and like Lindsay, clarify your
Hmm.
statement. Lindsay, real quick, what's the date?
Yeah.
Lindsay, exactly. What is the time? And it's like because you're doing these things, like I'm here to distill like the things, and then I get frustrated sometimes that he can't read my mind, and I don't throw my phone at him or swear at
Yeah.
him, and I don't say like you're a fucking asshole. But in my mind, I'm
Right.
like, this situation is fucked. And I throw my maybe phone in his direction. And I'm like,
Right.
ah, because there's so much stuff. But like, he is so good at like being like basically the hive mind, like the extension of
Hmm.
my brain, because there is only so much that we can take in, cultivate, be the face of our local community and take the amount of shit and the amount of heat that we do, frankly,
Hmm.
um, and have somebody there to make sure that we like get this stuff out there correctly, exactly the
Yeah.
way that it is supposed to be done. Because we are pulled in so many directions all of the time, and we're supposed to be
Yeah.
the face and the
Hmm.
ass, I guess, of the whole.
Yeah. That is
Like,
accurate. Being a county chair means being both the face and the ass of the party.
Yes. And it's a whole lot of heat. And like for somebody to just like prod us or fix or
Yeah.
like make the mobilize link like on the Facebook event and
Mm-hmm.
make sure Meta is gonna put it to your Instagram or not.
Mm-hmm.
And when it fucks up,
Yeah.
somebody tells a friend
Mm-hmm.
because we don't
Yeah.
know. We have so many devices. Like real quick, Jillian, I have a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
How many business accounts do you have for Google on your phone right now?
Right now. Let me look.
Mhm.
Hang on. Let's see. Google, open my Gmail. Nope, not that part. Okay. One, two, three, four, five, six. Six, and I might be missing one.
Yep. Yep. So
Hmm.
I have six, and one of them I'd have to like rekey to log back into because it's an old
Yeah.
one. But I have at least six. And this is where like websites are posted and hosted
Hmm.
through. Meta is hosted and posted through. Like like yeah, we use our Google domains, but somebody has to be the owner of it.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's always us.
Yeah.
I'm on my podcast. You're fine. Hi, handsome. How you doing, Ginger? I have two gingers in my family. I'm sure we'll eventually get to meet them
Which
on the
is funny
stream
because
because
I also have two gingers in my family. You
it's
won't
so
meet them.
good.
My husband might be
What?
around. My daughter doesn't like to be on camera ever. Um, but
John wants
yeah,
to be
no.
like generally the poster boy of the fucking entire party.
Oh, well, for sure. And we should be so lucky. But
He's coming to Summer State Committee.
oh, yay.
So Mona, I love her. She's from
Yeah.
Philly and she wants to meet John
Hmm.
and John has wanted to always come and I didn't want to take him away from school for 2 days because I'm
Yeah,
not
of
driving
course,
my
of
car.
course.
But he's like, well, I have to be like have the babysitter and be a part of because the women's caucus allows like whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, you can. I'm sure no one's gonna say you can't sit with us, and I'm sure like no one's gonna count your vote if you try to vote. So I
No,
think you're
no.
fine. And they'll
Yeah,
give baby man a task.
exactly. Yeah, it's
Like there's
oh
rules,
man.
and whoops, we're gonna
There
break
are
them.
rules.
There are,
But yeah.
but also the nepotism does work.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, but like truly if we're voting on anything where like the outcome is unclear,
Right.
we vote via digital ballots anyway. Um,
Exactly.
so there's no yeah. Um, but also when you vote in state committee, you have to put your name on it. There's no
Hmm.
secret ballots on state committee.
And
You
technically,
put your
there's no
name in.
secret ballots anywhere for the entire Democratic Party.
That's true. That's true. That's like the whole way down. Um, there's no
I
secret
have a question.
ballots.
I have an additional question. This is because this
Mm,
is relevant only because I got like
yeah.
mid on our bylaws. And like so our bylaws, we only have 2 pages.
Hmm.
Because the DNC has bylaws that we have to abide
Sure, sure.
by. The state party
Yeah.
has bylaws we have to abide by.
Hmm.
And I didn't see a point in adding more rules that we would have to break or find exceptions for because bylaws, right, are not a how-to, it's a what you can't do list. It's not like a
Yes, that
how-to
is
description.
yes. No, it
And that's how
is
I was
it is
taught.
like these are the things that you can't do, and these are some of the ways that you have to do.
Yes. And that is exactly like I bare minimum because in our
Hmm.
counties, like we're the minority, we have
Hmm.
to lead with like amount of flexibility
Yeah.
that like we have to like let candidates be candidates and
Yeah.
get the vote out. And what we don't need is a prescriptive additional 30 pages for people to abide by that we're already following.
Yes.
If DNC plus state party, we're at
Hmm.
170 pages already.
Yeah.
Do we need more? Babe, I don't think we need more. I think that that's what we need. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely like at the point that if you're a standalone organization, then like yes, your bylaws need to be more like all encompassing. But yeah, for us if we're abiding by the bylaws of two different other organizations, while the PA Dems have to abide by the DNC bylaws. So it's a ladder of bylaws. And so
Yes.
there's just like, there are some things that will vary by county. Like, my county has two vice chairs. Not every county has multiple vice chairs. Some do. My county has a vice chair for each of our state rep districts.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're split that way, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're split into like three, but like minusculely three. And it's like the majority is just the
Right.
one. So
You like Blair County has like 125,000-ish people in it. I don't think Crawford County has that many people.
we're 89,000.
89,000. Yeah. So yeah, we have 125, you have 89,000. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And we
so
only have
yeah, it's just like
one
a ton of
larger municipality where I think you have two larger ones.
mm, yes. Well, yeah. I mean, like, so we have Altoona, which is like officially a city. By the way, I think very few people realize this actually. It like is on par with population wise with Harrisburg. Um, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Harrisburg is not as big as, yeah, it's like, well, so probably Harrisburg is bigger now. But when I moved here in like 2008, I think the population was around 44, 45,000. Now it's down to like 42 or something like that. Or possibly less. Uh, and that was quite similar to, it was actually more people than Harrisburg
Right.
at that
And
point.
especially Harrisburg's only filled up really. Like if you're talking per residents or people that,
Hmm.
for instance, show
Yep.
up 4 days a week
Right.
with their apartments. We know
Yeah.
a couple hundred of those.
Indeed. Um,
That have residents elsewhere.
yes.
Um,
Yeah, so yeah,
Interestingly
that
enough,
and then like but everything else is smaller. I don't remember what the next biggest thing is, probably Hollidaysburg,
yeah, so
which is our county
Meadville,
seat.
like, yeah, so Crawford County has the county seat of Meadville,
Hmm.
is the city, and it's technically a city, and it's got a population of like 13,000 plus.
Hmm.
And then frankly, the other districts are small. We have 89,000 people, like 51-ish, 54-ish, maybe, thousand
Yep.
voters. And so like and, and adults and stuff, and the numbers getting smaller.
Yeah.
Um, People are moving away,
Hmm.
not moving in. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and so it's very, I think, interesting to talk about like so for instance, this is going to be a segue, a weird one.
Hmm.
Um, but did you see possibly the Crawford County Dems posting with my secretary giving words as a teacher about the school district and us potentially closing schools and the controversies behind it?
No, I did not see that.
And it is our most seen and most viral post we've ever posted.
Hmm.
I know.
Wow.
And so the thing is, it was a short clip.
Hmm.
Dan is a very good writer. He may have wrote his statement that it was maybe for readability, not
Hmm.
speakability. So
Yeah.
my editing assistants made it declarative and
Yes.
more succinct because we didn't know before he went to speak.
Hmm.
Like frankly, how many other people were going to speak, and he was only one of two speakers. They could have been different. Like had it, the point was for him to stand out amongst.
Hmm.
There was a ton of people, but
Yeah.
what happened was I posted the video. We
Hmm.
posted a transcript of what he said. We posted it as a story. He tagged me in it. Well, no, I technically he sent it to me.
Mm.
I clipped it because it's on the local news station. I
Hmm.
clipped it and then I added it and then I personally made sure to post it at a time where the traffic was
Hmm.
high and because of it being tagged to my personal page, Dan's
Hmm.
personal page, and the Crawford Dems
Yeah.
and us sharing it via story, people got to
Hmm.
see it. And people shared it that were angry. But basically, we are going to have to close multiple additional schools in the school district. the school district is already getting because it's so incredibly poor.
Right. Right.
Because of the city residents, not the outskirts.
Right.
Um, we get an extra almost $1 million in our budget because
Yeah.
we won the fair funding fight.
Yeah.
Democrats won the fair funding fight because Democrats are in the Supreme Court majority.
Hmm.
And we're spending an extra multiple thousands of dollars per student to keep one of the rural districts open, one of the
Yeah.
schools open that is part of the school district that receives that money. And so
Hmm.
basically all of the money that is going to us is being wasted by keeping a school open with a declining population
Right.
that is entirely further away, and we are going to have to um, close a certain number of schools.
Yeah.
And is it fair? We're going to posit it with saying, is it fair that we close a rural school where children already get on the bus because they have
Hmm.
to,
Yeah.
because it's so remote. All the
Yeah.
kids get on the bus and they go and they're on for like 30 minutes. Should they spend an extra 15 minutes on the bus and go into a city and be at one of the schools?
Hmm.
Or do we take
And when we say city, we're talking about
the city
Meadville.
of Meadville? Hmm.
Okay.
And so right now, like there's Cochranton, which is like
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
And like so, or do we bus the Cochrane students? We
Hmm.
close the brick and mortar there and bus them
Yeah.
15 more minutes into town, to one of the local school districts, one of the local schools.
Hmm.
Um, or do we make all of the children
Hmm.
bus to one super school out in West Mead, which is not in the city? And
Hmm.
now we're talking about parents who are more less likely to have any form of transportation.
Right.
And there's no busing for parents to go get children, for instance, that are in elementary school age sick
Yeah.
and whatnot, and go to PTO conferences or sports activities.
Yeah.
And are we going to force then all of this entire very large district onto buses that
Hmm.
are in walking distance, onto buses, and go out of town
Yeah.
and further for a super school?
Right.
And then
By
who's
the
going to pay
way,
for
when
the
we
super
say
school?
city, like the population of Meadville is like around 13,000 people.
Yep.
Um,
But the poorest
that's a
people that
city
don't have
in
cars.
rural Pennsylvania.
Yes. So like the poorest people that don't have vehicles, because like
Yeah.
if you live outside of the city of Meadville,
Yeah. Right.
you have a car.
You have to.
Right.
Right.
You already have to. But by default, like
Hmm.
because to get to the grocery store, you'd need a car. But the
Yeah.
people that live in the city and that are the most poor, that have to be near
Yeah.
their human
Yeah.
services organizations to help them.
Wouldn't it
Yeah.
be
Fucking
interesting
shit.
if our representatives in rural areas gave a shit about public transportation in their own areas?
Or
We had
public
this
education.
or public education. Either way, because
Mine
like
hates teachers.
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Um Remind me who you've got.
I've got Brad Roy.
Oh, Brad Roy, that's right.
He
Wait,
hates
is
teachers
yeah.
more than anyone else.
I
It's like his dog. It's like his thing.
Yeah, I have never understood that. I just like, I understand everybody's had a crappy teacher in their life, but like how did you get to a place where you hate teachers?
He hates
That
public teachers, but churchy teachers might
sure.
be fine.
That's probably true. That's probably true. Um, yeah, it gets so weird to me, but yeah, so it's, I think like there's the education aspect and the transit aspect, and I think it's just like it's so important to underline, right, that we had this huge conversation about transit, about public transit in Pennsylvania, um, during the 800,000 years that it took to pass the budget last year.
Hmm.
And all people like Brad Roy wanted to talk about, if they talked about it at all, by the way, was funding SEPTA. We shouldn't be giving more money to SEPTA. And it's like the whole transit budget isn't SEPTA, Brad. Um,
Right, except that
every
underfunded, like gave
yeah,
so much money to CATA, like that
also
funds
right.
us.
Also, by the way, SEPTA also needs money. We've been underfunding all these things for a really long time. And what
It's like
often
they
gets
don't,
lost, yeah,
it's almost like they, so like the state reps get
yeah,
automatic cost of living raises.
yes,
And so when you keep taxes at the steady state
hmm
that isn't to cost of living, you can't afford anything more if you just blanket keep the taxes as they are. The taxes to
yeah,
retain the people that work and continue
hmm
the services in which they've always been,
yeah,
you have to adjust the budgets also
shocking.
to the additional cost of living. And it is law that the
Hmm
state reps get the increase in their
Yeah,
pay, whether or not they choose to say that they take it or not, because I don't give a shit about what their personal opinions are, because
yeah.
60% of our state reps have secondary jobs as landlords.
And here's the other thing, and like, so this is just like for
Just being
me,
a hater.
no,
That's
I
a
know,
hot,
I love that
that's a
about you.
hot beat.
Yeah, so like, I just there are so many opportunities for Pennsylvania to increase revenue. Um, we could
Yeah.
get rid of the Delaware loophole for one thing.
It's in the
Um,
budget that we do it.
we
That'd
could,
be a
yeah, we could.
great thing.
Representative Elizabeth Fiedler has an absolutely amazing bill that passed the House that is currently languishing in the Republican majority Senate. Imagine our
Only by
shock.
three seats. Three seats.
3 seats. So yeah, it's languishing in the Senate. That is, it's called, the concept is called combined reporting. This is Water's Edge combined reporting, which is essentially that a company, when they're doing their taxes, wherever it is that they're based is irrelevant. But all of the money that they make in the US, they then have to say, here is the percentage of that money that came from that came out of Pennsylvania. And then that's what they pay taxes on. Whereas right
Correct.
now, if you are, for example, if your headquarters in Delaware,
Uh-huh.
that's not the case.
Do we know places in our counties that are incorporated in Delaware?
Oh, I don't have a list off the top of my head, but yeah, we certainly, yeah.
So I actually made that argument to my husband. By the way,
hmm
we are technically a
hmm
by
A
registration
mixed
household.
partisanship household.
We are.
Yeah.
My husband is in manufacturing,
Yeah.
but he worked at one of the largest manufacturers here for a while. And I
hmm
said to him, I said, well, they can act like they give a shit and they can give wonderful speeches to
hmm
the local newspaper.
Yeah.
Uh, but they're technically incorporated in Delaware. And my husband was like, no, they're not. And so the incorporation means like, so the corporate taxes that they
hmm
pay or don't pay um, don't come to the state of Pennsylvania. And by the way, like this business is technically it's a multinational business where it
hmm
ships in and out, but the only people who make the parts, it's in just Crawford County. There is no other
Yeah.
place. All they have to do is hire a firm to do their
hmm
payroll that
Yeah.
exists in Delaware. They don't have to exist in Delaware in any way.
No.
And I said, look at your taxes
hmm
and see what the address is for your taxes. And he was like, there's no way that that's true. And I said, I promise you, bitch, it's
Go
true.
look right
We
now.
got, we, and we got in this big like argument and he looked at it and he looked it up and he's like, there's no way that because I pay payroll taxes to like my local and whatever because I'm an employee. I'm like,
Yep.
correct. But the
hmm
corporate taxes, the stuff that pays for the roads, the shit that pays
Yeah.
like that is outside that income. And
Yeah.
he's like, that's not true. And he looks it up and he just his breath caught and he was like,
hmm
and he hates when I'm right. He hates it so much. I love that part of probably our relationship, maybe the most.
Mm.
And I was like, and he's like, I'm gonna look up this Delaware loop bullshit. And he's looking it up because he's like a lookup king. Like
Oh, I love that.
he
Yeah.
he he is the best Karen if he has someone
Hmm.
give him a false charge on for an item, see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he my son said so this is we are gonna have many quotes that we should
Hmm.
capture here.
Yeah.
But my son, and they're all John Michael Scott quotes. It's my son's name. And
Hmm.
John Michael Scott at the age of 4, he goes, you know what's worse than a Karen? And I was like, what, honey? He goes, a Kevin. And I'm like, stop, stop. And
A
so,
true king
but,
from moment one.
and I'm like, but like, I didn't realize that we
Hmm.
never like said it in front of my husband until like a couple weeks ago. I said, I don't know if I'm like, Kevin, you know the saying about you. And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, oh, maybe we haven't said it in front of your dad. And I said, John, what's worse than a Karen? And he goes, a Kevin. And I was like, and it landed. And he's like, that's actually hilarious. And he's dying laughing because he
Yeah.
will dog something into the ground. He will show
Yeah.
up in person to your if it's in Western Pennsylvania, he will show
Yeah.
up to your business and be like, "Did is this or is this not your employee? Is this their did they death threat my wife?" He's tall and he'll show
He is.
up
He's very tall. I've
like
seen him.
he's like 6'6", like and he's ginger and he's if you catch his ire, like it's on you. Like for real, I can't deal with
The
that. Like
gingers, man.
but he'll roll up and he'll be like with the post that is like this quasi death threat, and he'll be like
Yeah.
showing up. I'm like, was this your employee? I sent an email to your HR reporting this, but I didn't get a response. And he like his 6 foot whatever is looming, and
Yeah.
he'll just wait. And I'm like, wouldn't that be nice to have that physical domination of the um like good for him because I've tried to make my complaints known and I've had to bark up like some bullshit trees and things take way longer to complain. And I'm like, man, Kevin's like a weapon. Like, I don't want to be like giving him all the props on this, but having somebody walk in and with that on the phone is this your employee? You didn't respond to my email. I'm like, he's walking in. You didn't respond to my email. That's insane.
Yeah.
I can't imagine walking into somebody's HR and being like, you didn't respond to my email. Here's my phone. Here's the message. You should fire them tomorrow. And if you don't, I'm gonna submit this to the different entities and then show up to their
Mhm.
offices also. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's Chef's kiss situation.
Yeah. I mean, he's a man on a
He's
mission.
he's the Karen, but like the tall white dude aspecting, and it's
He's a Kevin.
he's like yeah.
He's a
So
Kevin.
like I'm here supporting it. But when I told him about the Delaware loophole, he was so aggressively angry though. He was like,
We
we are
should all be
paying.
that aggressively angry. It's horrifying.
Yes,
It's so stupid. We're missing out
it's
on so much
insane.
money,
Like so
you
much money.
know?
Like money that like we would never have to increase like property taxes for schools, like for locals, for like
Right.
potholes. Like this is the money
Hmm.
that would go to. And people like miss the boat on it because they do
Yeah.
pay personally the taxes.
Hmm.
But if there was more money, because your corporation would have to fucking pay it, it's not your
To
money.
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Hmm.
they're just reaping the profits rather than paying what they owe.
Right. They are getting they get our
Shit for
labor
free. They're
and
getting shit for free.
they're getting shit for free because yeah, they're not, paying taxes. Um it, it's incredibly frustrating. Not I mean which is not even to mention things like increasing the minimum wage, legalizing recreational marijuana. Like there are a bunch of ways to increase revenue that would allow us to pay for the services that people expect to have and should have. Because
And people get
like
so pissed about the
mhm.
like fucking local gambling issues, like
Yeah.
where like these pop-ups are happening with like
Mm.
gambling or whatever.
Yeah,
And
the quote unquote skill games.
yeah. And
that we can never figure out how to tax.
yeah, but we
Republicans.
could.
We sure
Right.
could.
But and there's three Pennsylvania senators that were
Hmm.
directly like targeted though in
Yeah.
they were willing to vote with us. They were
Hmm.
given PA, like Republican senators were given death threats, notes on their cars, notes on their families' cars, like saying that they couldn't vote for this. Like they were basically like, I would call it, what do we call like that? Not technically violent, but highly intrusive in your personal security,
Mm.
invasiveness.
Yeah.
I'm Italian, so it's a less gentle version of persuasion before it's a
Hmm.
threat.
Yeah.
Things they were doing to Republican Pennsylvania senators
Yeah.
uh, to make sure that they would not vote for the regulation of gambling. Um, and
Well,
that was
here's the thing,
from
and like, let's be
bigots.
specific, right? Because like, we do regulate gambling.
Right.
We don't regulate skill games.
Yes,
Like
the
casinos
giant
and
loophole of it.
that's regulated. Horse racing regulated. Skill games, the like little video games essentially that you put money into, and then like people just sit there and stare at them all day, and you get like parlors hopping up all over the place.
And everybody hates seeing them all everywhere in
Everybody is
downtown,
seeing them all.
and they're bought by for-profit industry and stuff. And like, so you can't,
Yeah.
city councils
And
can't
these places
determine.
are like just raking in money hand over fist. Um, and
They're unwatched, and city councils can't
yeah,
do like a whole lot of
no,
necessarily zoning to prevent them
right.
either. Like people are like, well, why do we have 10 of them? You need to stop it. I'm like, bitch, they can't stop it.
They
Like,
can't.
who gets rented to who is the
Yeah,
fucking person who owns its decision, technically.
right. I mean,
And I mean,
it's
unless
a,
you want to
yeah,
come up with your own zoning ordinance and like outlaw them.
right. Which I mean, which you sure could. Um,
Right.
like,
And then it'll
but like
stay
all of
empty.
these things take like organizing, and usually like, your local city council or borough council or whatever people don't necessarily know because fun fact, the qualifications for those positions are that you are 18 and that you live there.
Yep.
That's it.
In the
Which
city
is,
of Evil,
and
we've
by
been
the way, which
lucky.
is not
Like,
to say that there aren't some really fantastic municipal officials. There are. It's just to
right.
say that like, just like being
They're also
elected as a
unpaid.
municipal official, what?
They're also not really paid.
No, yeah, they're also mostly not paid. Or if they are paid, it's like an absolute pittance.
It's
But like,
usually
yeah, no,
like 10 grand a year plus health insurance.
if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
So like they're
I
qualified
think
volunteers.
I think Katie said she is a borough council member in Millheim, which is a borough that is a population of 850 people. I think that like her stipend, which I don't remember whether it's monthly or like quarterly, is like $27 or something after taxes.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, no, which is like, so again, like not that there aren't really great municipal electeds, there absolutely are. You have one. You have more than one. Um,
I've got a
but
5-0 city right now.
you
Five
sure
and
do.
zero.
That's right. But that doesn't automatically make your municipal elected officials experts on
No, it doesn't.
zoning or ordinances or any of that stuff. So like,
Not at
it's a
all.
it always it provides an opportunity for you to be helpful and to organize around stuff.
Yeah.
Which so many of these issues, like on the local level, um, and like I grant you, and this is why I have a very firm rule that there is no such thing as a stupid question. Like because well, when you're asking a question of me and you say, "I'm sorry, this is such a stupid question." Never. It's never, that is never the case. I have
You're
never been asked
vocalizing a
a
question that
question that
like
is
100 other
stupid.
people have.
Right. Like I've never been asked a stupid question by somebody who thinks that their question is stupid. Um,
Yeah.
and so have I heard it a million times? Yeah, but it's not your fault. Like,
Right.
like that's a systemic issue, friend. And so, that I am always happy to answer those questions. And when I don't know the answer, I will do my utmost to find it. Because I mean, like, I'm not an encyclopedia. I know a lot, but I don't know everything.
I do think that also we'd be a great venue for people to submit random ass questions too.
Oh yeah, you should absolutely submit random ass questions to us.
Because,
Well,
like,
yeah,
frankly, if we don't know the answer personally, like, we can farm out the answer
we can
of
farm out
like
the
who,
answer. We can find somebody that knows the answer. Yeah.
yeah, quickly, and we would be like, oh, but if you're a person asking it, there's 100 people asking it. There's
Yes.
no
Like
reason.
almost nobody has asked or well, not nobody. Very few people have a question that I've never heard before. Um, because I've been doing this on some level for well over a decade. Um, but also like that doesn't mean that it's a bad question or a dumb question to ask. It means usually, like Lindsay said, like you have that question, 100 other people, 1,000 other people, 10,000 other people have that question.
Or the issue is
And
becoming
yeah,
relevant and we might not be aware of it. Like
right,
re-relevant. Like
right.
relevant again. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, people are talking about it? Oh,
Oh crap,
yes.
yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
here's the thing. And like, and let's make sure we put
Hmm.
it out there. It was like the even though we talked about it 2 years ago, it's like as an
Hmm.
organizing statement, we need to bring it up again because
Yeah.
people are more interested or newly interested in it.
Hmm.
Um, like I talked to a bunch of people the other day and I'm like, just because you and I know where to find the answer does not mean that everyone could find the answer.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely
And
true.
we have to all the time make it easier for people
Hmm.
to find the answer they're looking for because there's so much bullshit in the
Yeah.
way of you finding the answer.
Hmm.
And trusted messengers are like the key to that.
Yeah. Um, right. And so you just like, yeah, no, and I've basically built my entire existence at this point on like we should all have better access to information and you know, somebody has to do it. Why not me? Um, which is
Yeah.
like that's for so many years I got the like oh man, why would you be the chair of the Blair County Democrats? And I was like, well, somebody had to do it.
Yeah.
Um, what was I just gonna sit around and not and just whatever? No.
And for
So
me, I
yeah.
was an ex-Republican, same thing.
Hmm.
And as an ex-Republican, I was the chair of like for the minimal amount of time that you're allowed to be even a Democrat to run for
Right.
the office.
Hmm.
But I'd organized like as part of Republican Women for Hillary the
Hmm.
first time around because the minute some of us saw that asshole coming down an
Yep.
escalator, a lot of us were like, that was every frat guy that we were really glad wasn't our first husband. And
Hmm.
it was just that vibe and knowing how like fucked like the amount of the power differential in those relationships can be. And like
Yeah.
this person needs to be not in power and people like around him shouldn't think that it's okay or
Yeah.
even anything but bankrupt.
Yeah.
And yeah, eventually, I mean, I became a Democrat because they're like, why didn't you become independent? And I'm like, because I want to win and I know how to make these fucking people lose. These people fucking, we're in a two-party system,
Hmm.
bitch. I'd
Yeah.
I'd rather elevate like the best Dems that
Hmm.
could run for something
Yeah.
so that we can have a chance to win
Hmm.
and help with their message and help talk to people. And also, frankly, be a lightning strike to singe the hands of
Hmm.
the assholes nearby.
Yeah.
That no, that's the whole point is like no, but I what is it? The theory, what is the theory of the newly converted? It's like there's no
Oh,
one more.
there's no zealot like a convert.
Well,
Yeah.
as Jillian could tell you that that's probably very much me.
Very true. Yes. Absolutely. No, it was so what's so funny is the reason that I remember that always is because in 2018 maybe I don't remember. I think I don't know. Anyway, Bob Casey was at an event and he was talking about abortion rights And I was like, "Oh, damn! Look at him go!" And then
Right?
so a person said to me, "No zealot like a convert," and I was like, "Yeah, apparently."
Like, yeah, once you kind of find out where your line is and it crosses, then you're
Mm-hmm.
like, you, once you that line crosses for you,
Mm-hmm.
and so many people, it isn't even like it's usually one issue.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you the story about Kevin? Like
Which one?
with the white the like white privilege thing?
I don't think so.
So he's a very tall man.
Mm-hmm.
And he is certainly still a registered Republican, but he's a
Yeah.
very, very tall man. And he this would happen to him somewhat frequently, where
Mm-hmm.
like a 20 bucks or $5 or whatever would fall out of somebody's pocket, and he would kind of grab it and try to give it back to the person, and it might be a
Mm-hmm.
woman.
Yeah.
And she would like speed up and no eye contact him. And like
Mm-hmm.
he's like, I'm not scary. And I'm like, it doesn't actually matter.
Doesn't actually
Like what
matter.
you are. Like
Yeah.
even if it's her money you're trying to give back to her, like you're
Mm-hmm.
just like a tall motherfucker behind her. Like what are you talking
Mm-hmm.
about? And and then I realized like a nice, hi baby, what you doing? You want to come wave? He wants to come wave.
Okay, come on in.
He's
Come on
wearing
in.
he's wearing one of my favorite shirts. It's the Dijon Eagles.
Nice.
Super
Love it.
Dijon. It's
Mm-hmm.
wonderful. Hey, handsome. What's going on? Nothing? You got throat. You sound scratchy. You need to drink more water. Too much video games.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to get me a drink? Thanks, babes. At state committee, it's gonna be great.
I love it. I love it already.
But basically, like so with the whole like
Mm-hmm.
with privilege thing, it was I said, so real quick, like, did you being white ever like hurt your chances of getting a job? And he's like, no. I'm like, okay. So you don't like it, or you're not fine with like being sort of treated. This is the water he got me.
That's that's like it's like a gallon of
Your
water.
level of you're funny. You're a monster. But this guy, and I am thirsty though. Like it's unfair. Jesus. Our water had shut off for a couple days and we had to get all this
oh,
water. And it's
cool.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, so I said, you know that feeling like how mad you get and you talk about it for like a week at a time, every time
Hmm.
like a white woman drops like a 20 and you're trying to return it to her. Like
Hmm.
imagine if you were black and you were like trying to get cigarettes at a gas station, but
Hmm.
every day, because
Yeah.
that's how you're treated by a white woman, frankly, when you're trying to return her own money to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it might be slightly dark outside.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden you're black and you're trying to buy cigarettes. Like
Hmm.
they have to deal with it every day, every interaction, every
Hmm.
time. And
Yeah.
you're this mad right now about that interaction. Imagine being all the
Yeah.
time mad.
And also, by the way, imagine like there being literally no reason for that reaction, really.
Correct.
Because there is a reason for that woman to have that reaction, and it's because statistically speaking, men are awful. I
Yeah.
love many of them individually,
Yeah.
but you know,
But if they're strangers, how would you know?
yeah, you don't know.
You don't know.
And like,
But his like whole
yeah.
visceral response though of
Hmm.
him trying to be helpful and like him being upset
Yeah.
about being helpful and like being spurned,
Yeah.
and me describing like how somebody could hold a door open at a gas station
Hmm.
every single day. And this was
Yeah.
back when he was a smoker, so he used to like
Mhm.
have to go all the time. Yeah, I know. Cool. I'm talking though. Yeah. But that was he viscerally felt like how they felt.
Hmm.
And he's like, oh no, this is fucked.
Yeah.
And it broke like that fourth wall for him more.
Yeah.
Like he was like, Oh, it's not it's not about that. Like statistics, it's like
Hmm.
how they feel every day.
Yeah.
And I feel that way. And so I couldn't handle feeling that way every day. How can
Hmm.
they handle feeling that way every day? And then he extrapolated it to a point where he's like, how can they feel this way all day, every day, and not just be so mad all of the time? And I'm like, right.
Who's to say they aren't mad all the time? They might be, but they
And the
can't show it to you because that's only going to make things
correct.
worse.
Right.
Hmm.
And maybe after a certain amount of period of time, you have this level of acceptance of it,
Hmm.
and that, that no one gives a shit,
Yeah.
and that's it. And he was just like, I would be so, I'm like, I have said many times, because I've got a little boy who is
Hmm.
a monster right now,
Hmm.
but I couldn't be a black mother and be afraid for a kid. And like, if something happened to my kid, I would be imme immediately on a watch list. Like, let's be serious. Like, they have put up with
Yeah.
so much for so long that I personally like don't know how they handled it, and I don't know how they continue to handle it. And I don't think that I would ever be a good person. I would never be able to be an ambassador for that because they have dealt with some shit, and I am way too much of a caustic bitch. We'd have thrown me.
Ah,
We'd been like, no. And that, I mean, I get it comparatively, like they've dealt with a lot, like for a very long time. So like
yeah.
they've had to deal with it, but
Right.
I don't deal with many things well at
I mean,
all.
like it's hard. It is hard to imagine like with it's when it's something that you haven't had to deal with your whole life. It's hard to imagine like how exactly you would deal with it, but it's just like
I love the fact that we get to talk about it though.
yeah. Um
At least for us, we've got so many people that we're so tight with like the
yeah.
Black Caucus and stuff, like rural Black Caucus are like this.
Hmm.
Like which
Yeah.
people would think it'd be weird, but like it's not. Like we are having events with
No, this is
Westerners.
one of my favorite. So yeah, I think I want to
We were
yes,
weird
let's
coinciding.
wait, yes. A tangent that brings us in for a landing, I think, for our
Yes.
first episode.
Not that
But
we're
I
always this way. We always do come back to like the thing that we're getting at.
mhm.
We always kind of
Um
circle back.
so yeah, I think the one of so I've been on state committee as a county chair since 2014. And for me, one of the biggest and most positive changes um has been how tight the Black Caucus and the Rural Caucus have become. Mike Laws, who's the chair of the Black Caucus, I absolutely love. And
He's
like,
great.
and the other thing, and the other credit I want to give to for this, and a huge, massive credit is Carmina Taylor,
Yeah.
who a delightful and amazing black woman from Southeast PA who like at some point was sort of like um got into rural organizing and just was like really into rural areas. And I'm so glad because, she has this group now of black mayors. Pennsylvania has more black mayors than the rest of the Northeast combined. And most of them are in rural or rural adjacent areas.
Yep.
You have one
And yes, I do.
in Meadville.
I have Jamie
Hmm.
Kinder. She was the first ever woman
Hmm.
and first ever black person
Yeah,
to win as mayor, and she won as both the first time ever, and
hmm,
she just won re-election by more than 500 votes, and we won
amazing.
day of voting, and not even
Hmm.
mail-ins included in
And
every precinct in the
yeah,
city of Meadville.
and so I think like yeah, and so a huge change I think from then to now. And by the way, the rural caucus didn't even exist when I was first on state committee. But then one of the bigger changes I've seen is the ability to embrace the fact that guess what, rural areas are diverse also. Like yes, I'm not gonna lie, there's a shitload of white people. I'm not.
So many.
here to say there's not so many white people. But there aren't just white people in rural areas. And, you know, it is, for me, I think really, it makes me happy that we've finally gotten to a place, not that it's the end of the road by any stretch of the imagination,
Right.
um, where we are seeing so much more representation of not just white people in our municipal governments and just like in rural democratic politics generally. Um,
As an additional side note,
yeah.
did you know? Because I don't think that this is as widespreadly known, but
Mm,
out of our five city council members,
hmm
like Jamie Shore is our
hmm
mayor. She's
Yeah.
one of the council members for votes. But three out of five of them are black,
Mm,
and three out of five of them are women. And they aren't
that's
all
amazing.
black women. It's
Right.
like there is one black man,
Yeah.
there are two black women, there is a
hmm
white man, there's a
hmm
yeah. So I'm like
Yeah.
it's more of like a there's a very more egalitarian mix of people, and but it is a woman dominated and a technically
Yeah.
black person dominated um like council, but they all ran on the same issue and they ran
Yeah.
together on issues, and the issue was expansion of safe and affordable housing. They did not run on national issues.
Yeah.
They ran on both. You have to take the plastic off. But don't ask me questions while I'm talking. Um, but that's the thing is that they ran
Yeah.
specifically on increasing like the budget and the stabilization of the parks and
hmm
local like recreational things, but
Yeah.
also cleaning up the like city-owned housing and
hmm
then instituting a rental registration program and
hmm
inspection program that was funded not by the city taxpayers, but by the rental units themselves. $3 per
Ooh,
month. Yeah. $3 per month per unit.
that's amazing. Yeah. Listen, I mean,
And that's how they did it. And they all, like for years, it was four different cycles that they ran on that
hmm
to get the majority and eventually
Yeah.
get the ABC board that does
hmm
housing authority of the
Yeah.
city owned
hmm
to get replaced, where
Yeah.
they were able to make changes in just now. I think we got the ABC board, like got rid of the landlords that were on it.
Yeah.
Because by the way, landlords were the majority of the city council.
Mm,
Hmm hmm And
yeah.
and now none of the council members are
hmm
landlords at all, and the ABC boards have no landlords on them. And they are so now
What?
renters and homeowners because our city is constituted of 67% renters.
Yeah.
And so everybody else is a corporate landlord. So how do you fight against that? Well, it's
hmm
by
You gotta beat
lifting
them.
up and
Yeah.
finding renters
hmm
to represent themselves.
Yeah.
And that's how they won.
Which takes time. You heard
And
Lindsay say three
cycles.
cycles. That's 6 years minimum.
Yep.
Uh, so like,
We are a
these things
long-term
take,
strategy.
yeah, we do long-term strategy. Um, oh my God. So listen, I hope, dear listener, if you're not already involved, I hope you get involved. And if you're interested, you can check out our website. It is PA Dems Rural Caucus.com. PADEMSRURALCAUCUS.com. I can't
That's so
believe I
good.
spelled that so quickly without messing it up.
I mean,
I'm
I'm proud
really
of
shocked
you.
right now. Thank
I feel
you.
like we should
Not
do
that
a
I can't
voiceover
spell,
of you
it's just that
reporting
like
a program.
rural and caucus are
They don't go together. It's
they
like there needs to be
don't.
like a new word.
I honestly, I'm not sure that the word caucus goes with anything.
True.
And
That's
also
true.
rural is not whoever's responsible for that linguistically, I'm eternally unhappy with you.
But just the
Um,
word caucus just sounds too much like
yeah.
another word that could be
Uh-huh.
shortened. And
No,
then it's
also
like,
that. Yeah.
okay,
We have the humor of
come on.
12-year-olds also, so know
Yes.
that. Um,
No,
so
no
yeah.
maturity.
None. So you come on, join PA Dems Rural Caucus. Go to PADemsRuralCaucus.com, and you can uh, become a member on our site and find out when the meetings are and all that jazz. And we got resources. And we're continuing to build resources as we build community. So please come join us there. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, PA Dems Rural Caucus. Um, and do please hit us up with all your random politics and government questions. Our
You'll
email
never
is
know how it hits.
admin. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll never know how
Our
it hits.
admin, our email is admin at PA Dems Rural Caucus. I'll have said it enough times that you'll remember it. Um,
We're gonna try. We're gonna
we're gonna
try.
try. We're just gonna keep saying it. So with that, we'll see you next time. I've been Jillian. I almost said I've been Lindsay, but I haven't.
But I am Lindsay. This one over here.
That
This
one.
one.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time. Keep it rural.
That works. That works. That's good.